All right, thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about setting up Mongo database. So MongoDB, we're going to use this driver called Beanie for Python to connect to it and everything. But I just set up a new computer, so I don't even have a projects directory on here. I have my PyCharm projects because I was testing out, installing different software. But typically on my FreeBSD machine, I like to have um, a projects directory. And inside of there, I like to um, clone in the projects that I'm working on. Now, typically, what I do before I would clone in or do even start working, so if you just type cd by itself, you go back to the home directory. But typically, I would ssh agent and ssh add, and that's just complaining because it looks like I never put my key on here. Um, so I'll have to go grab my key, put it on here. All right, so it looks like the SSH agent has the socket. Everything looks like it's working. So basically, what that allows is, so now if I wanted to SSH, well, here's what the commands are. I just made little shortcuts for them. But essentially, this allows you to. See how it just connected to the box? Bugging me. So that's because my key is loaded. Okay. Anyways, so let's go into projects and let's do git clone. We use SSH to clone the repository. That'll clone it. Awesome. Now that it's all cloned, what I can do is go in there, see all the stuff that I've been doing. All right, cool. So now what I can do is check out this Ansible directory, and here we have a role. We have a role called database, and this one looks like it's set up to do Postgres. So that's the first. We're gonna have to move that and fix it basically. So now I'm gonna delete the whole database folder and everything. Um, that way, if I was to look at Coach, there wouldn't be a database anymore. And now, let's do it. Ready? Copy. And I want that to go now to there. And that should. Yeah, it looks like we changed up a bunch of stuff. These is modified. Obviously, these aren't there anymore. These are some of the newer ones. So now it's just a game of connecting everything together. So inside of here, we have a handler. That's probably already set up, so let's just review that real quick. I'm just going to actually, okay. We have handlers Mongo, and this one just says, if you hear somebody say notify restart MongoDB, then restart the service MongoDB. That's fine. And then we have a task called setting up Mongo, adding user, a rec.conf and a user info program. Yeah, so what these programs do is when the database is being set up, a Mongo database is a real simple one to work with because you can just have it up and running with no authentication and it'll just work. So what you want to do then is to connect to it with no you connect to it right here with no authentication. So here's the connection. And then you're making a client that connects. Then you're going to the admin database and you're running a command. And you're going to create a user. And these will just say use the value from the this file. So we have this group vars all config, and that'll have all the different things in it. So we had the Mongo username, so that'll just put this and that in its place. And Mongo password, you don't see that here because that's in the group vars all secrets file, and that's encrypted. Anyways, and then you make that user, and then you give it a password, and then you give it the admin any database, write any database. And what this will do, this will make it so you have a user that can, the second one goes in and it connects to the database and with that username. Actually, authentication isn't enabled in the database yet, but it connects without authentication, and it just says, who is our user? Tell me about the user Mongo admin. Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then in the configuration file is where we lock it all down. And once it's locked down, then only that user can do the stuff. Okay. Cool. So now let's just do the setup. So we have tasks, Mongo setup, and here we go. So when you do this install and then you do another install right after, you can actually just say with items. Typically you could do something like with items, and then you could say put one per line and then say name equals item. Like that. Something like that, and then basically you can take all the names and you can put them on like a list down here. So we could try that, see how it goes. I think you do it like that. But the good thing about having other files is you can check them to see what you did. This guy. And then you go to this guy. And I'm pretty sure it was when I was doing Postgres because it has so many packages that it needs at the beginning. There it is. Okay. How close was I? I was right on. I just become, instead of having become at the bottom. This should still work the same. Maybe it doesn't. Oh, and I did package name equals item like that. because otherwise I would have had to go like this. I can still do it, I would just have to go like that. That's another way to do it. And now I can take this and throw this on a new line. And that will install both of those at the same time. Install MongoDB and tools. So we don't need that anymore. Oh, rsync. Look, another one. Auto start Mongo. Okay, so first it's going to install all the packages for the machine. Make sure they're all present. Then it's going to auto start Mongo. And this is using MongoDB 5. Let's see what versions they have. They have 5.0, 4.4, 4.2. So yeah, we're using the latest one, 5.0. Wait a second. Where is 5.0 tools? Let's go back and check. So what's MongoDB-tools then? It is tools for 4.4 and up. Oh, cool. So that should work with 5 then. Cool. Well, whatever. That all works then. So start the database when the computer starts. Start it now as well. Write that file to add a user. Write that file to make sure the user, so yeah. This will write the file. This will write the file. And these will run the file, basically. And this one adds a user. This one verifies the user was created, basically. Yeah, so what this is doing is it's creating a virtual environment. It's installing PyMongo in there. It's using that virtual environment to run this program. And then we're deleting that virtual environment and those files. Then we need a rec.conf. So we generate that using values that we gathered from the person, which hopefully they filled out when they filled out their environment variables. Their variables. Let's see. So then a keys directory, then I'm generating the keys, then I'm creating a file, I'm deleting a file, I'm deleting some more files, I'm putting that where it goes, cleaning up a file, I'm editing a file to make sure that we are basically turning off it listening without, like, we're turning out the default ports and everything that it's listening to, and then here we're telling it listen on this port at this server address and require authentication with this file and make sure that people log in, then it'll restart. So yeah, this is all straightforward actually. That's done. So to get Mongo on the computer, all that needs to happen is we just need to run this on the machine. And the machine I want to run this on is a local machine. So how would you do that? Well, if you come look over here in this Ansible, you'll see that I had a bunch of different playbooks. And the reason for that is I need something like this. So if I'm going to be working on a local machine like this, then I'm going to need yeah, that local one right there. I'm going to need something very similar to that. So let's just do copy app server local to let's just call it MongoDB database local. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna say the become method is super. It's just you type su instead of using sudo. The connection is local instead of over SSH, and we only want to do the stuff in the database role. And the host is me. So I'm just gonna say substitute that with I guess I could just say the word localhost, or I could just say like that. So yeah, I mean that's about it. Now if I want Mongo installed, all I should have to do is Ansible Playbook, and I'm gonna do 2Vs, just if there's something to see, I want to see it, and I'm gonna do ask for the vault password, and then I'm gonna do Mongo. It's gonna ask me for my vault password. I'm gonna say 1 second. I gotta go get it. And oh, now it wants the password for this computer because I'm using the local connection. So I should have provided that. Let's cancel out of this. Control C. So when you know that you need to pass your password along, you type, and I even wrote notes about this right here actually, just in case you want to see all the notes that I have. Basically, there's a whole bunch of notes here that are telling you how to set up this project in particular, and you know, we're using Git Lite, Python, Ansible, which I installed those already on this machine. This is teaching you about the SSH agent. If you don't already have a key, here's how you make one. See, I made my projects. I cloned my project, just like you've seen. This one's telling you to edit the config file and create a secrets file if you don't already have one. The secrets file needs some information. Put in your IP address of your server by editing the host file, which we did. Yep, and it's just telling you about the running Ansible part. And where is the, I thought I put it in here. Anyways, I think it's capital K. Weird, I swear I put it in there. Oh well, anyways, it's just capital K. So you just say, now the become password is the password that it's going to use to log in to your local whatever machine is in your host, which for me is this local machine. So I'm going to type in the password that I would use to log in as roller at Littlebit on this development machine, right? Now the vault password. And now check this out. This is using Ansible to control this same machine here. So if I look, I'll do service. There is no MongoDB, right? Now after a minute, and I run that same thing, there will be one, right? Okay, so it is complaining about the user being called FreeBSD, and the user's actually roller. So what we want to do is the parts of the playbook. I'm pretty sure I remember I had to do this. If you look at see how there's a username and then local username. I migrated because I did the local one first, and then as I went from the local one, I went to a different. I launched the server and got everything running over there. So basically, what happened was I didn't rewrite some of the older stuff. So if I go to database and I go to tasks and I go to Mongo setup, you're gonna see anywhere in here that I said username, I actually meant local username. That's essentially all I really want to do. That did 8 substitutions, so let's double check that that was all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, that looks like all of them. Cool. So let's do that again. So let's type our password. It's not the right password. Yeah. Instead of telling you you typed the wrong password, it tells you some random thing like an exception occurred, the error was none type none. Yeah, that's pretty strange. So, see all this green stuff, it's basically saying, you know, we looked, everything looks fine. This one can't find Python 3.9, so where's that? Oh, it's because I used it as a name. So did I make a variable for Python? I should have made one for Python version. Um, okay, so how many places in here does it say Python 3.9? One spot. Okay, so where it says Python 3.9, we really want it to say um, Python um, version. And we'll set that in yeah, apparently we didn't put it anywhere. So that's the Python version we're going to use. Let's try that again. So this time it might start making a difference. I don't know how many times we can run this in a row. So what do? We So this one doesn't know if something's changed or not just because of the way we're doing this. We could do service and the state could be enabled. That would work. That way it would show green here. So sometimes you have to work with the modules if you want them to be fully idempotent and kind of check to see if they've done something before doing it. But in this case, you can run sysrc as many times as you want. It's not going to change the file. It'll just, yes is now yes. It was already yes, whatever. This just wrote some files, but I didn't get to run them yet. Okay, yeah, it's fine. We can just run this again. So this one did not like the Python version thing I did. It says, oh, sometimes you have to put it in quotes if it's not working. Either one. We might have to put this one in quotes, or we might have to put the other one in quotes. Let's go figure that out. So it could be the other one. We'll try this one first. We shouldn't have to do that, but let's see what happens. No, it didn't like that. Okay. So the command was 3.1. It missed here's what we need to do. So Python version 3.10, and then when we're using it in the script, we still need to say Python. All right, so we should be good now. We're trying to create that virtual environment. Let's do it. Let's do it. Cool. And now it's trying to use that virtual environment. And the problem it's saying is there is no pip. So what happened? So the command was Python 3.10-m venv home roller venv. Did it do that? Oh, because it's trying to run from here. Hold on. probably just because I didn't yeah, the pip is there. I'm just not. I was making an assumption in my script where it was running from. So what we need to do instead is not make an assumption. We need to say, if you are, we basically just need to say this. We need to say, if you are using Venv with a slash after it, like that. Okay, so if you find one that ends with a slash, then I want you to replace it with um, slash. It can get kind of funny looking when you have to do it like this, but anyways, slash user or a slash home slash local username. I usually do it like this. And then oh, what did I do wrong? It's a little bit hard to figure this out. Okay. So you're searching for, we're doing a search for venv /. And then we're going to replace it with slash home slash local username. Oh, it was this one. So slash home slash roller slash venv slash bin slash pip. That'll work. But the other assumption you need to not make is that slash home will be there, because sometimes when people install FreeBSD, they don't have a slash home, they have a slash user slash home, which points to slash home, and sometimes there's only user home, there is no home. So if that's the case, just put slash user slash home. So let's do that. So let's say if you see a slash home, then replace it with, I did not mean to do that. Wait a second. Yeah, okay. If you see slash home, then replace it with a slash user slash home, and do that globally. So everywhere where it said home, now it says slash user slash home. That should work the same, but that should work better and in every situation. And you see the fun of this, you know. It starts to get exciting because you do a bunch of random. It's not random. It's very calculated, but there's so many little things. Oh, I should have deleted the virtual environment. Oh well. Look at all that. All right, so Mongo's running, and now it's running in secure mode. So if we type like we did before, we just type Mongo, it's gonna be like, what? Connection refused. We don't know. What'd you just try to do? And that's just because it's encrypted now, so it doesn't know how to connect. So you have to actually ask to be connected to an encrypted session, and yeah, anyways, so that's all good. So what we can do now is, we've got Mongo set up. That means we can have our app working. We could make a user. We could, do I have virtual environment here? No. So, um, so I have this pvenv.rd. I'll show you what that does. It basically does Python 3.10, make a virtual environment, then activate it, then go in and update, and then go in and install and rehash. So that's an easy way to install your whole project, basically. There you have it, folks. We should be able to now run the program, but if we don't remember what the command is to run the program, we can just look at, we have it in here. It's in the templates of right here. So the command is G-unicorn, then -W for workers, basically this whole thing. And if you middle click, it'll go down. But if you don't, you just do paste selection too from the menu. So this is complaining that the mailing list does not have the actual API key in there. What's going on? So all that is saying is that it really wants the actual API key. So we can do that. We just have to go and get it. We could just go get it from I'm just going to move that file up real quick. Wait, what's going on? Oh, I don't have my .env in place anyways. That's the problem. So I was going to say I need to move my .env so I can go get a different one, but it's not even there. So if you look at .env template, this is going to be the information that it's going to need, your app is actually going to need. And as part of my Ansible script, it'll do that for you, but since I didn't run the app as part of my Ansible script, just the database part. So anyways, let's go and grab a file. So to get a file, let's go okay, now we're on Unicorn, and let's go and open a link. And look, our app is running. And if we were to go into slash account, it'd want us to log in, which is good. And then if we, since we don't have any users, so we can do register. I'm actually going to do this on a incognito window because it is very annoying when it remembers everything you type in a form. Or I could just turn that feature off, actually. Let's just do that. So autofill needs to just stop. Wait, where is it? Is that really the autofill? Yeah, so I've turned off autofill. Okay, cool. Hopefully it won't bother me by that kind of stuff. So anyways, my name is Roller. And that's my email. And register. Okay, we've registered. Welcome to your account. Now I can... okay, fine. I'll just do a slash log. Log out. Okay, I'm logged out. I can log in now. Let's make sure my account actually works. I'll type the wrong password first. Should put me in a timeout for a few seconds before it tells me that was wrong. And then if it's right, it'll go right away. Okay, cool. It's connected. That means my database is working. And what do we want to do? We want to connect to it. But we can't because it's encrypted. And then, so how do you do that? You do something like that, where you just say allow, you do --tls, which tells it that you wanted to do that. You replace these variables with the correct values. I set an environment variable for this one. And that should work. So now if we do, well, let's do what they're suggesting here. Okay. See how it says show DBs and there's bodybuilding with Aaron? So we can say use. Show collections. And we can say db dot users dot find. And you'll see that's the user that was created. This is the date they were created, and here's the hash of the password they used, and yeah, cool stuff. That's kind of how all that works, and pretty interesting stuff. So I really like Mongo. It makes it straightforward to work with your database, and backing it up is really easy. Honestly, it's really easy. But anyways, there's a Mongo dump command, and you could dump the whole database to a file, download the file, and then you can restore a database from a file. Yeah, maybe we could do that as an experiment in another video. So thank you for watching. Have a great day.